Yeah, I just want to start this video off by saying this castle is gonna be a little bit different than normal ones. I'm gonna have the normal background footage out edited like I normally do, in the background. So the random background music, it's gonna be me yapping and Loki ranting at the end. But yeah, I'm just gonna talk about the Erga stuff from a month or two ago. And I know I'm late to it, but I also just want to talk about castling and why I'm not really doing it much anymore. Yeah, it was 2 months ago from the time we were ever recording this since the last castle realistically. So basically we were recording a normal castle video and then we just queue Urga after struggling to find any bedwars team that doesn't die to randoms in the first minute after we break their bed. So then we castle on them normal. We rage bait them in chat, just sending around brain rot. And he gets pretty angry, and then he says 3 rounds against us, and then loses all 3. Then he says he lost because we were on alts, and we go on our mains in castle, and none of us really cared enough to we didn't really mind getting banned, or most of us didn't. We cared with the consequences of it, and we actually kind of at the end we did just start killing them. The castle was secondary. We were trying to kill them after their 4th loss to the castle. All of us are banned the next day. All of our alts are perm banned, plus just random other alts that had nothing to do with it. And our mains were all banned for a month, and then some of our secondary mains too. Only my Gats and Varus. Mine were all I don't have any other ones. It's Baldur's Movie 2 is fine. I'll put up some screenshots too, the bans and stuff, but you would think these bans would be for teaming or something, because of course we had 5 people for the castles, which on average it's probably when we castle in the video you can see it's normally 3 to 5, sometimes 6 people we have at the castle. So you'd think the ban would be for teaming or something, or prolonging game, which I don't know if that exists anymore. That was the thing in Treasure Wars. If you stalled out forever, if you would glitch, that'd be a prolonging game ban or something. But now it was a month ban for negative behavior for the perm negative behavior perm ban on the alts, and then a 1 month for all of our mains and stuff. But in other words, we kind of just got banned for castling. If you really think about it, there's no way we've never been reported once ever on any castle we've done, recorded and uploaded before, and until we fight this YouTube rank. Or not even YouTube rank, it's some guy who has some sort of presence on YouTube that does Hive content, who is able to lure in random mobile kids to Hive and spend their money on the bedwars ticket garbage. So when he reports us, it's not only a perm ban on the alts, but a month ban on our mains. And I get it, the idea of bias has been a thing on Hive forever, and it won't change, it's gonna get worse. Which is why I'm not gonna go too hard on that point, even though in the future, if I ever care enough, I probably will make a video encapsulating how messed up the Hive staff is and their insane bias and bizarre nature when it comes to banning or any punishment realistically at this point. But we had 5 people castling, meaning we were teaming, but did our alts receive your average 3-day teaming ban? No, they were all perm bans across the alts, and a month-long negative behavior ban on our mains. Also, just to translate negative behavior ban into actuality, that just means they banned you for a reason they don't want to disclose. So I don't really have any thing against Durga. I'm not too connected in the bedwars sphere, so I don't really know who he is. I don't have a good grasp on who he is at all. Second reason I'm recording this is kind of just discuss the actual castling. Completely disregarding the bans and stuff, which I'm fine with castling still. I don't play the server much anymore to care for another month ban Gazim. But in the future we should have to avoid any person with presence that attracts the kids on the Hive so they can spend their money on bedwars tickets that they just flush out every update to get money, because it's just a money gap at the end of the day. But yeah, besides that, the game is just so unbelievably dead, which I guess I'll kind of get to that point. From a Treasure Wars player's perspective, it kind of just shows how uncompetitive and unrewarding the game has been since release. And I mean, for the future too, like the future, like recording the castle videos, like you need a team to hack the castle on, but it's getting like more and more difficult to do it on, since like, say we play this night, there's gonna be no teams, and if there are teams, they're most likely gonna be unable to survive against Rams after we get their bed, or the team is just like gonna be, oh, just some random group of Asia players that are all cheating. Which also, it's Asia region. I don't know what we can really do. We've recorded a few castles on Asia. They haven't gone well. But I mean, there's also EU, which I mean, NA, we really can just find like those random parties that have no idea what they're doing. But sometimes EU has something, which again, still a ping issue. It's annoying. After getting that out of the way, I might as well just talk on bedwars as a whole at this point. I mean, I'm not gonna make an entire video dedicated to yapping about it, so I might as well do in this ranty like video I'm recording or castling, whatever. This has nothing to do with castling, but like the first month of release of bedwars kind of had like, you still had bedwars players try it out to see what it was like, since obviously it's interesting. Well, not really. I mean, everyone that's grinded the game really hard for years, like me, I got like top 12 all time. I got 31,000 wins. My reward was a hat that I got permed banned from after like a year. And also that hat was the same reward my alt got with like 4,000 wins, so it doesn't really matter how much you got. And also, I guess I might as well comment on this too, how like they only counted wins from like 2023, I think, like January up. So like any old gen just got nothing. They were basically just like completely left out of the equation. They got no reward, like actually nothing for what they did. Which was, I mean, kind of sad. I mean, I got all basically 75% of my wins post 2023. So I got all my rewards, which useless anyway. The hats weren't even good. But besides that, I think like every Treasurers group could like held on or had some sort of connection. Kind of agree how like the game just felt increasingly more boring with more and more people quitting like every update, with like also reality setting in on how Hive just wants like money that you do not care for grinding at all, like even less than they did in Treasure Wars. Like the game just like doesn't look like it had a future, and I feel like most Treasure Wars players that continued to casually grind or full grind thought maybe there would be some sort of competitive communities, but like fast forwarding like the present, the comm is still non-existent, I feel like. Which again, I'm not too connected, but from what I've seen and heard, it's not sounding too interesting. Strong grinding, besides like the couple struggling groups of new gens, like trying to hold on, trying to grasp onto something fun to do on Bed Wars. But I think sniping plays a big role in like the lack of grinding and stuff. Not even because like no Bed Wars grinder group will ever be as consistent and good as to create like a legacy for themselves on the game as such like Treasure Wars players did. Which I think most people can agree on, unless they're like delusional. There won't be like, you also have to realize just the sad leaderboards. I've not even checked them for months, but like no one's come close to anything high that's like people in Treasure Wars. Like even mine, I got like, I don't know, I got 5,078 wins I think, my best month on Treasure Wars. Which, by the way, I could have gone for more. I just wanted to one-up Fact Shaker that month, like the month after hit. Barely anyone's beating that, and that was my like record wasn't even close to like, I probably wasn't even top 5 I think. Yeah, I don't think there's not gonna be like a legacy of some guy that does like anything as like accomplished. I'm recording this while I'm like editing, but I want to touch on this more. I'm just trying to say like which feel free to correct me in the comments, but the game just feels soulless with like no monthly battles, it looks like, that like are interesting at all. And there's no like gang wars from like Treasure Wars. Like there's no dominant groups in Bed Wars. I don't think there ever will be. If that were to be a thing, it would have had to happen by now. But like there's nothing like there was in Treasure Wars, like, which it's what made it interesting. Even though it was annoying to be sniped, like with every group just like sniping each other, like that at least gave the game like a reason, like something to do. The biggest thing too is like the sniping with the new technology, like the trackers and stuff. I think those 100% played a role. From what I've seen, like my group, in week grinding, we had like the first quote-unquote tracker. That was like in 2023. Messi made that it tracked wins for everyone monthly, like hourly. We used it to just catch boosters. This is before the even idea of like a tracker for like stats to snipe was even like thought of, from like what I've heard. Maybe someone had some tracker they've had for years. I don't know. It didn't seem like that though. Like sniping was not as crazy as it seems now in bedwars. But also I do want to say the booster catcher thing did work. We did get some. If I can find some screenshots, I'll put them up on the stream. But I don't know. But yeah, I can't compare this tracker to like anything nowadays though. I can just track every stat, which I mean, that's why. And it's like instant too. So like sniping is just like crazy now. That's why no one grinds. Yeah, but now that everyone has their own insane tracker that keeps logs of like everyone they want to, like, does Hive care? I mean, no, they don't, because why would they care at all? Grinders are unable to get wins, because all grinders do is win as quick as possible. They speedrun the iPad kids, and the iPad kids, they see their new bedwars ticket and buy it. But if they're getting speedrun and just losing every game, why would they keep playing to buy, like, spend their money on their Hive bedwars ticket? They wouldn't, because they would like turn their iPad off and stop playing the server. But if you listen to all that with some castling in the background, subscribe and prepare for the We Grind movie coming out most likely in like early June probably. I actually got a fake it. Starting editing it.